LL Nation, what's good? I know you guys are on football overload. The NFL gave you a lot this weekend on top of some major news coming out of South Bend. One coach leaves, another one comes in, and we still haven't decided who the defensive coordinator is at Notre Dame. Welcome to the Lucky Lefty podcast. I am Shaun Davis at SD2 Mics. That dude right there, the original Lucky Lefty himself, Malik Zaire. As always, we're brought to you and featuring Honora Whiskey. That's right, HonoraWhiskey.com. Go there. It's the premium American whiskey, only HonoraWhiskey.com. We'll get into the new D-line coach. We'll talk a little bit about the NFL playoffs because I told my co-host Dak wasn't going to get it done last week.
Yeah. He didn't play very well.
And we discussed Lance Taylor. Congratulations to him becoming the new offensive coordinator at Louisville.
The benefits of being at Notre Dame, man. The benefits of Notre Dame, you're going to get them good opportunities, man.
Yeah, both of us talked to 2023 recruits this weekend. So we have updates on 3 in particular. Bro, I know you talked to Dante Moore, and I had an opportunity. Well, we both talked to one individual, and I also had an opportunity to talk to Drake Bowen and get an update on his transition from football to baseball and what he's looking to get into and the goals he has for his senior season and in Dreyan. But before that, we have a special announcement, and we'd like to show that to LL Nation now. So check it out. We're talking to Carnell Tate, IMG Academy.
Notre Dame's been on me from the start my freshman year. I've been talking to him, so our connection is great. So I feel like I can do it all.
The trifecta.
I'm just from the Midwest, so
let's talk about this shot down streets.
Oh, yeah.
You feel different. I try to tell them all the time, you feel different when you come from the South Side.
Oh yeah, it's different.
That's right. Exclusive one-on-one. Well, not one-on-one. Exclusive interview with Carnell Tate right here on the Lucky Lefty Podcast 2023. 5-star wide receiver recruit. Has some very, very interesting things to say about Marcus Freeman, and who came to visit him on Friday. He gave us an update on that and went into what made him special. He talked a little bit of that ish. I'm all good with that.
That's right.
That's
Got to.
From the south side of Chicago. Very confident young man. So that special interview will be live right here on our YouTube page Tuesday night, 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern, only right here on the Lucky Lefty Podcast YouTube channel. So tap in.
We spin it different. We
spin it different. Tap in. Glad everybody out there. I see you guys tapping in today. Let's see. I think I saw somebody saying they were tapping in from Alpharetta this morning.
Yeah, I like that. I like to hear that.
Appreciate you. We see our day
getting up early in the morning for the LL Nation.
Absolutely. Happy MLK Day to everyone.
Another great day in the remembrance and the reverence of Dr. Martin Luther King.
You know what, man? It's so ironic. I don't know about you, but of course, everybody knows the famous "I Have a Dream" speech. And it's always only a certain segment of that speech that's discussed, or you have to memorize for like a day.
You got
in grammar school, and just the totality of him as a person, the humanity. This is one of the dopest things for me when I look at people. Like, you like to focus on the great things. I like to focus on the humanity of people. Right? I want to know what people have to deal with, what they have to overcome, because that's what makes them great. Like, everybody has flaws. Everybody has flaws. So when you nitpick at anyone that's done anything great, you're going to find, you put them under a microscope, you're going to find something. But that's the obstacles that they had to overcome. And when you can overcome those obstacles or those hindrances, and still make the impact that Martin Luther King Jr. made, that makes me appreciate or respect you even more. And that's why I love LL Nation. We all have different opinions, but it's the difference of opinions and the way we convey that to one another in peace and in love that makes it worth coming back to each and every morning. That's why we get up and we do this, because we love Notre Dame football and we love LL Nation. So happy MLK Day to everyone out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Just another opportunity to just take everything with a grain of salt. You know, you look, I think the qualities that, you know, you get from the stories you hear about people, about courage, about bravery. I think some of that you may not like, the maybe a lot of diciness in the total history of a person, but I think, you know, just like how people can take something from a person and not use it to just sum up the entire person. So I think the biggest thing I took from just the courage to do things when everybody else is against you and you're doing it with the right intentions and righteousness, I think that's just something that you gotta, at every point in your life, come to a point where you gotta cross over that and make a decision. So, you know, it's just good to see people that overcome those steps, like you said, and this is one of those days to remember that.
So let's get into it, man. We gave congratulations to Lance Taylor already on his new position. So Notre Dame is also looking for a running backs coach. And we'll get into, we talked about this Friday, right? Marcus Freeman anticipated all of these moves possibly happen. Like, he knew that Mike Elston more than likely wouldn't be happy and totally bought in unless he became the defensive coordinator. He gave him the audition, didn't go well. He went to his alma mater. That's wonderful, right? And I understand why LL Nation was like up in arms, because they felt like they lost the best recruiter on the staff. And that's the change in the culture. Like, no longer will the best recruiter on the staff be anyone besides the head coach.
Right.
It's a new day in town. So we talk about Mike Elston losing him, but as far as a coach, there were better options out there, or equal options out there. And Notre Dame was Kerry Combs and Al Washington. When the new DC over at Ohio State, Jim Knowles came in, Ryan Day moves them out. And as the story goes, from multiple sources, Al Washington was pursued by Georgia. He was pursued by Florida. And ultimately, it came down to Notre Dame and Georgia, and it was the relationship between Marcus Freeman and Al Washington that ultimately led him to give Notre Dame a call and say, I'm accepting the job as D-line coach. Great connections in the Midwest, has recruited and had been in contact with the likes of Keon Keeley, Brennan Vernon, when they've been in the building at Ohio State. So that bodes well to keep those young guys in the class of 2023 with the departure of Mike Elston, and gives them confidence because it's someone that they know. He's coached the linebackers at Ohio State for the previous 3 years, but amongst coaches in the coaching circuit, he's a better D-line coach than he is a linebacker coach. So he's really coming into, you know, his comfort zone in Notre Dame. And last but not least, in my research and reading articles and listening to some of his comments, he was asked about his recruiting philosophy. And he said, my recruiting philosophy is to treat these young men like they're my own. And beyond that, I have players that I didn't get to come to the program where I was at that I still have a relationship with today because of the impact I made by building a relationship. So that's what I'm all about. I'm about building a relationship. And that right there tells me everything you need to know, or everything I would like to know about Al Washington from a recruiting standpoint. He said it's not about the logo on the chest. It's about the relationship with these young men and making a positive impact on their lives. That bodes well and goes right in line with what Marcus Freeman has been talking about. Build a relationship. Let's go out and build relationships with these top guys and let them know why they fit at Notre Dame.
And that's a part of changing the culture. When you talk about building relationships, you build that trust that carries with you, and the logo doesn't matter. In this case, Marcus Freeman has kind of introduced his methodology into the program and is bringing some great results. If you can snag a coach that has a lot of interest from the schools that we're trying to overcome, that's a great first step, because that's going to turn into the players, because he's recruiting those guys. Guys are already looking at the program in different fashions and perspectives. We heard a little bit from Carnell Tate that'll drop tomorrow about just everybody sees the different energy. And when you're getting guys like Al Washington, even with the vacancies of Lance Taylor and Elston, that a lot of other programs would affect that program heavily, especially on the coaching staff wise, to just be able to replace that. But having the confidence that Marcus Freeman has had, bringing in guys he knows that he has close relationships with, I have a confidence that he'll also be able to replace guys that are taking other opportunities, which is great that he's doing this with a lot of time left. This isn't like these guys are leaving 2 weeks before the game or something. So this is it's still impressive to see him maneuver and adapt as a young head coach in a very very delicate situation. I mean, you messing with a program that's been around a long time, and you're a young guy that's transitioning from an older guy. So I like what we're seeing.
So moving forward, man, how important these dominoes that are falling across all of college football, right? And the fact that Marcus Freeman was able to convince Al Washington not to even take an official interview with Georgia. It was almost like Marcus knew, like, look, I cannot allow Kirby Smart to get his hooks into this dude. Talk about the relationship between the two. He worked under Marcus Freeman in Cincinnati previously as well. So the importance of relationships, and we talked about this, building a staff that you can trust, that you can rock with. And even though we might feel bad about losing certain coaches, in the long run, this could be one of the most beneficial times in the Marcus Freeman era. What's happened here, how the coaching staff was formed.
100%, because at the end of the day, the only way we're going to take that next step is everybody on the same accord and on the same page. You look at a program like Alabama, everybody's on the same page. Whether you coming in brand new or you've been there for a long time, is Nick Saban top down. Everybody knows what's going on. Marcus Freeman having these relationships is so important, because it's an attraction that he pulls from other schools. It's different than what we used before, where we were using resume, and Coach Kelly's like, hey, I'm Coach Kelly. I would love to give you this opportunity, where Marcus is calling like, hey, we hit the jackpot.
Right.
bring the family coming. We're gonna do it the right way, and everybody is confident that Marcus can do the job. I think nobody would be on board like this if they didn't believe he could do it, and I think his plan is good enough for everybody to follow. And I'm excited to see how it's impacting the program, but the recruiting that has been beneficial so far. I mean, we're missing coaches right now, still getting commits, and strong commits.
Right.
So it just shows that the kids is like, look, I don't care who's coming and going. I know that Marcus Freeman's going to be there, and I want to be under that guy. So for Marcus Freeman to get guys that he used to have under him that have grown up and have respected their relationship, and they probably took a lot from him, they want to come back. You just know that the players are going to see that too and go like, oh, man, like even he came back and he's big-time D-line coach now. So it's very impressive.
Yeah, I had a piece drop on Irish Breakdown from the conversation I had with Carnell Tate and of course, the conversation we had with Carnell Tate. And he talked about the energy and things are being different. He said, man, I'm not trying to step on BK at all, but it's obvious to recruits that things are different, under Marcus Freeman. And then,
Marcus Freeman probably got them good smells up in there, he burned a couple of frankincense and myrrh, he got to smell like the barbershop up in there, man.
Right. And then, I spoke with Drake Bowen, and Drake Bowen was, echoed that and said, look, everything flows from the top down. The energy, the vibe, the energy we have amongst the recruits that have committed in 2023, that comes from Marcus Freeman. That's swag, that confidence going out and trying to remain the number one recruiting class in all of the nation and all of college football. That comes from the top down. So everything is permeating from Marcus Freeman, his vision, and what he feels like Notre Dame can ultimately be. And you can't help but to feel excited.
Yeah, you can't help but be excited, and it's not even spring practice yet, but you're excited about the moves made because you know the results are going to be there. I think the guys that he's bringing on board outside of Laurinaitis are all established guys that are respected amongst other places in college football.
Yeah.
And respected so much to the point where we got other top schools wanting our same guys. So if the kids is all speaking on one accord, excited to be on campus, excited to be around the program, getting 5 stars in the future, I don't think will be a hard thing for us.
No.
I think you'll see that 5 or 6 5 stars in the next 2 years that we were talking about at the right positions that can, change the tide for us. So in terms of the encouragement, I mean, it's there. So you can check that off the box. I think that's something that we haven't felt in a while, even with a good team.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how it turns out when we get rolling for real. Now, I also want to mention, I hope this infects the offensive side of football as well, because there's a lot of success with Marcus Freeman recruiting and putting the staff together. But offensively, I like where we're headed, but, we want some of that same energy to be on that side of football as well.
Lucky Lefty podcast of Shaun Davis. Next to my man, the original Lucky Lefty himself, Malik Zaire. We do have a super chat. Bobby B, we thank you so much for the super chat, for tapping in this morning. This is for you, Malik. Morning, peeps, LL Nation. Hey, Malik, the Bengals got lucky. The refs blew the call. Tyler Boyd, touchdown, should have been blown dead. Anyways, go Irish.
See, I like that comment because most of the time, the Bengals wouldn't even be in the conversation. Now they talking about they got lucky. You know what I'm saying? Now the Bengals getting lucky. Before, we couldn't buy luck. Now we getting lucky. So whatever, we on the next week.
Yeah. So you guys, if you haven't checked it out, go ahead, check out my article on the conversation with Carnell Tate. It's over at Irish Breakdown. It's my first piece I dropped as a recruiting analyst over there. So go check it out. You can go to my Twitter feed, SD2 Mics. The link is there. Check it out. It's a pretty good piece, if I don't say so myself. I see a lot of questions about Sonny Styles. Sonny Styles is at Ohio State. He's not coming with Al Washington. But what we do bring is the guy that was able to get Sonny Styles to commit to Ohio State over Notre Dame. So that's the connection, and that's the guy. That's the recruiter that's now on the Notre Dame staff. So feel good about that with the 2023 and 2024 class to possibly get a guy like Samuel Mpemba and some of the big-time defensive tackles and D-ends that were already receiving offers from Notre Dame when Mike Elston was here.
Yeah, I think he's going to give an edge that Elston couldn't bring in that recruiting part of it, to where I feel better about those type of players being more willing to at least be interested. Not that Mike Elston couldn't do it, but, it's all about improving just a little bit more. And I think, Al Washington adds that. But in general, I just think it's a fun staff. You think of these guys, you thinking they're coming in, they fresh.
Yeah.
But, they might have a design or something, though,
Right.
It might be a little culture appropriate with the professionalism of the ND swag, but I think it's all the little things that matter.
Right.
And so we'll see how it translates.
Another super chat. Rob Lobo 123. We appreciate you. Thanks for tapping in this morning. In the garage pod about the Fiesta Bowl, they seem more pissed with the fans' reaction to the loss than their own performance. They need to hit the gym. Rob, you echo our sentiments, man. That's why immediately we were telling guys, look, man, get off social media. What are y'all doing?
Yeah, you worry about the wrong thing.
Yeah, stop all this, apologize and hit the gym. Like, we don't need all of that. The fan base.
Yeah, because it's embarrassing that we lost. Let's just focus on that. We didn't think that we were supposed to lose. I'm sure y'all didn't think y'all were supposed to lose, and y'all lost, and y'all want excuses for it. And we're like Philadelphia fans. We ain't gonna let you just get off that easy. But we just want y'all to be as best that we know we can be.
Yeah, they want pats on the back. They want somebody to rub their back to make them feel better. You shouldn't feel good. No.
We already been at 11 wins. We already done seen that.
Yeah.
Y'all may just get here, but we've been on them 11-win, 10-win seasons.
So yeah, I'm all for it, man. Take that anger, take that bad feeling, let it fuel you in the off season, let it fuel you in the gym, weight room, meetings, all of that. And for a guy like Logan Diggs, look, once again, it's a new day at Notre Dame. It's a new day. Positive vibes. That's all we want. Positive vibes. And if his vibe is not positive with the program, so be it.
Yeah.
If he's iffy, we don't want the iffy. Mike Elston was going to be iffy.
Yeah, I mean,
feel a certain type of way. If Logan Diggs is feeling a certain type of way, go ahead, make your departure. Like, we appreciate you. We see the promise in you. We know you're going to be great.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's at Notre Dame. If not, running backs have been a problem at Notre Dame.
Yeah, that's the last thing we worried about is getting another running back that can produce. So
let's see. So Lance Taylor came from Stanford. Man, I thought he was going to end up getting an NFL job eventually. That's how well respected he is. He's done a great job in Notre Dame. But pretty much, once again, and this is not to speak any less of the job he did while he was here, but I can go back to the last 3 or 4 running back coaches at Notre Dame. They all have done a pretty good job because the production from the running backs at Notre Dame has been pretty consistent.
Yeah. I mean, we've been printing them out like a copy machine, and even through the different coaches from Alfred to Lance Taylor, I think it's important to see that, one, the recruiting and the consistent of recruiting on the backs have been really good. I mean, our backs have been pretty much similar. I think in a CJ was kind of like a Theo and a Zaire, and a Tarian was in that mix, and a Josh. So I think we've had a great experience recruiting running backs. So it's a lot of credit to them, and then credit for those coaches keeping that retention and keeping them progressing. I mean, I haven't seen us really fall off in that category in quite some time. So it's been a staple of our program for sure. But we've also seen those same coaches in that room get elevated to great opportunities outside of the Notre Dame. So it's hard to think that you would even have a long-term coach at that position. I mean, Archie Denson got a head coaching job. Lance Taylor got an OC job. So Alfred got the head assistant recruiting or something like that. But it's just a hot position if you're a coach to be a Notre Dame running back coach now, and you can't really blame it. So it's in and out, a lot of transition. But if you can get in there, you're gonna be taken care of.
Lucky Lefty podcast, talking about coaching changes. Lance Taylor moves on to Louisville as the offensive coordinator. And we were talking about the running backs. No, let me get this super chat before I get into that. Christopher Morgan, thank you for the super chat. Good morning, LL Nation. I'm jacked up about how MF is getting his young coaching squad together. He has either known, played, coached with, or just been friends with. It's like he is saying, Avengers Assemble, go ND next season. And you know what? That means you're going to hear one voice. You talk about this all the time for the 2015 and 16 team that you were a part of, that there were too many voices and nothing was single-minded. And being single-minded in life is very important if you want to be successful. And if you want to have a successful program, there should be one voice, one common thread, and it seems like we're getting that under Marcus Freeman.
Yeah, but the right kind of one voice. I mean, it was a one voice for 12 years, and I mean, it was good for what it was worth. But this kind of one voice is a more of a collective one voice. I mean, Marcus Freeman has been very balanced in his approach to being a head coach, from taking on certain things head on and then allowing other guys to play their role into that as well to help the situation. So I think once everybody, especially we started talking to the recruits, and they started to mention how Marcus Freeman was the top-down approach. It's coming from him. He's been turning the energy and tide around. It just shows that he's putting it all on him. Like LeBron carrying the team on his back.
Right.
He's averaging a triple-double right now, looking to try to win some championships. And now it's just a matter of, can everybody support the energy we ride right now to go into that first game looking like the team we want to be.
And I see someone in the chat to bring up, you talked about the production you've gotten from the running back position at Notre Dame. Autry Denson is a terrible recruiter. Hey, he got Josh Adams and Tony Jones Jr. I don't care what
Tony's playing.
Did they produce? Did they produce when they were here at Notre Dame?
Trucking 33, y'all remember that?
That's fine. Because Josh Adams wasn't a 4-star, wasn't a 5-star. But the dude scores a touchdown on his first touch at Notre Dame.
Given off by yours truly.
Yeah, it's like, look, I don't care. All I need to see is production. Period. That's what I need to see. And running back in college is just like running back in the pros, man. It's a devalued position. It really has become a devalued position. If you can really go out there and get players, if you can coach them up, you can get production at the running back situation, especially if your offensive line is solid and you're playing off a quarterback. Now, I would say the production at Notre Dame is even more impressive because Notre Dame is always facing teams that don't respect the passing game, don't really respect the quarterback, and constantly put 8 in the box against these running backs. So you look at Josh Adams was the dude that season. Because you had Brandon, who was struggling, and then you had Ian Book coming in eventually. And
Josh Adams carried a huge load in that transition.
Absolutely.
But the running backs in general, in combination with the offensive line at the time, that's talk about bread and butter. I think the production that's kept us in most of our games has been because of that combination.
Ashley Hill, thanks for tapping in. He said, write it down, take a picture. I don't give up. Marcus Freeman about to go on an Eddie Robinson run at Notre Dame. Man, if he's here for 20, 30 years, that would definitely be impressive.
I almost like the short and sweet. If he got a good 5 years, 2-3 championships, go ahead and send that man to the league.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And it's all about. I've seen 5 stars come. Man, look, what's the local kid? He was a 5-star. He committed to Notre Dame. Marquise Stepp. Everybody's talking about level up. Okay, Marquise Stepp was supposed to be the level up, right?
Yeah.
Big time Indiana high school player, 5-star, commits to Notre Dame. Then he goes to USC. Issues, injuries, off the field issues. Then he goes somewhere like, look, man, just because you're a 5-star is like level up to what? What are we leveling up to? Based upon stars? There are people that aren't 5 stars that become Heisman candidates at the position of running back all the time. All the time.
Yeah, running back, you can get a 2-star running back and he can be impressive.
So now if you want to talk about getting once in a lifetime running backs like Reggie Bush, when was the last time another Reggie Bush hit college football?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? That's dude. Pete Carroll was at USC, and they just had one of these lifetime dudes be down the road, be down the 10 and 6.
Down the street, down the street.
And they grabbed him. You know, can we get one of those in the state of Indiana that's right down the road?
He'll probably be a defensive player like Jalen Smith.
Tom Ballard mentions his, James Aldridge was supposed to be all world. He was supposed to be the level up. You know? Matter of fact, Logan Diggs was low key from a running back position. You know, late decision to come to Notre Dame. Aldrich Estimate, decommits from Michigan State, comes in late to Notre Dame. Now, Jadorian Price is a level up.
We're gonna see. We're gonna see. I'm excited to see his. I saw his tape, like what I saw.
Jadorian Price. He's in my opinion, from watching the tape, he's a level up. But once again, we'll see what happens.
And see how they use him.
Look, the Notre Dame uniform is that pixie dust for running backs. They put that uniform on, they produce.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, this year, the offensive line struggles were just so bad. Like I said, you know, Kyron and what he was able to do this year is even more impressive, considering what he had to deal with 8 in the box from teams, you know, because they wanted to force Jack Cohn to beat them. They went bump and run a lot. So now within 10 yards, you have the safeties, you have the DBs. Like, that's a lot to work with and work against as a running back. And you're still able to be successful at running back.
Yeah, and be able to block and catch. I think all our running backs that we've had been able to do the trifecta in some way. I mean, Tony Jones was great at all three, and that's why he's playing today. But, yeah, I think the running back room has been probably the most developed.
Yeah.
If you had to look at a program developing positions, we develop our running backs the most. I mean, we've taken CJ, who came in as a safety, and developed him to a third-round running back. We developed Jerome Bettis. We developed Josh Adams and Dexter Williams, who are, you know, came in at the same time and got them both to the league. So it's just them in the O-line. I mean, we can be a running back you in a sense. I don't think we get a lot of credit for it, but we definitely have the resume.
Thank you for the super chat. Christopher Morgan, with Jerome Bettis on campus, he will help with that. Look, it won't hurt. It's always great to have one of your former greats here and a great in the NFL on campus. He's trying to finish up his education and get that degree. And I'm sure Marcus Freeman is tapping into that. I'm sure he is in some way, form, or fashion.
I'm sure he has his hand on a lot of things that are going on around campus, and he definitely is aware of it, to say the least.
What do you think Oklahoma State thinks of Diggs? Honestly, I don't think they think anything of him.
Mm-hmm.
I know what they thought of that offensive line based upon their adjustments and how they played. When you pretty much just go to drop back and deep drops with your linebackers and bump and run on the outside, you're pretty much daring a team to run the ball.
Pretty much.
Daring them to run the ball. And when that team doesn't take the challenge to say, okay, you're giving us the run, we're going to go ahead and take these 3-4 yards and go play action every now and then. That's what we should have seen we talked about it. Tyler Buckner should have been inserted in that game at some point.
Yeah, I mean, Tyler Buckner would have helped Diggs a lot just to loosen up the box, give him something more to worry about. They knew with Jack Cohn, if he was putting it in the guy's gut, he was probably going to run it. And they weren't threatened by it, you know, at all. And I think that put a lot of pressure on Diggs to perform when the expectation is, all right, you're like Kyron Williams with a different number, you know, when you get the ball like that. So Tyler being young as well and growing with Diggs, I think it would have helped the confidence that they have going into the spring together, because obviously at this point we're expecting them two to be the ones running out there. So another missed opportunity in my opinion, because not only was he didn't get a chance to really work a groove with running the football, I didn't think he did a great job picking up the blitz either. So I think going into this this spring and then this new season, the offense is going to look totally different from what it looked like in the Fiesta Bowl. So hopefully Diggs gets a better groove with Tyler, but those two got to have a special connection because that's going to help, that offensive line with Harry Easton and open up the receivers. Hopefully we can develop that pass game from it.
Yeah, Joseph Dobuzinski, appreciate you as always. Diggs just loves this attention that everyone is giving him. Same guy who apologized after the bowl game. Running back room is just as great with him as they are without him. I mean, that's just the next man up mentality. The one thing I'll push back on is he wasn't the only Notre Dame player copping pleas. Braden Lindsey was copping pleas. There was a lot of Notre Dame players copping pleas and apologizing after the bowl game. So I won't single him out for that.
Yeah, no, I mean, a lot of them were crying on the internet, and it's just, we get it, but we don't care. We lost. But I do think that it's just young guy stuff. I'm more surprised by Braden Lindsey knowing that he's been there, but
yeah,
I don't think that type of culture will exist with Marcus Freeman after a full 9 months of getting prepared. I don't think the team will carry themselves that way. I think they'll just be like, we got this. We ain't worried about apologizing because we're looking to overcome and win. So it's just more of what we're used to that's leaving out the door of the BK excuses and apologizing and saying not and being lazy and recruiting to, we kicked up competitive energy change. Kids are buying in. And so I think even in losses moving forward, I don't think we'll respond the same way.
Lucky Lefty podcast. Pete Sampson from the Athletic, they released some information on an update of the DC job. Some of the same names. You hear Doug Belt from Houston, Al Golden, who's with the Bengals in the playoffs right now, linebackers coach, Derek Mason, the Auburn DC. But some new names have risen up and casting a wider net. The Minnesota DC, Joe Rossi, Phil Parker, the Iowa DC. And I actually talked about Iowa's defensive line coach being a possible candidate last week for the D-line coach position at Notre Dame. And then also Boston College's DC, Tim Lukabu. So casting a wider net, taking his time, trying to find the right fit. I'm all for it. And
with a lot of names, it's just interesting to see who fits the best. I think Marcus Freeman is ahead of schedule, so he can take his time a little bit more with this decision. I think it's big considering it's under what he's, famously known for in college football. So it'll be cool to see how he makes this decision, but I do think there has to be some attention on the offensive side just to match the energy I feel like is being cultivated on the defensive side. Not that it's split, but, these moves that are making it feel free-flowing and easy. And offensively, it just feels like we're trying to throw stuff at the wall to see if it sticks.
Yeah, and Notre Dame, look, Marcus Freeman, I'm very impressed because he's very forward-thinking, and it seems that he likes to play chess, take care of the moment in the present, but still prepare for the future. And we saw that with his anticipation of these coaching moves and coaching changes and being prepared for that and already working on things behind the scenes through back channels and through his previous relationships. And I think that's going to bode well. And, they're going after the Paul kid, the 2022 running back, in anticipation that, they might lose somebody if it happens. If not, you pick up some more talent on the offensive side of the ball. Michael Graves, there's nothing like having a coach believe in you in relation to recruiting. That's worth an extra star right there. MF seems to be that type of coach and person.
See, the narrative is great and it can exist as long as you're winning. It's going to have to be backed up by winning football because it can get out of hand, and become too player friendly, even though Marcus Freeman isn't carrying himself like that too much necessarily. When you don't win as much as what the energy you're bringing around winning is and being competitive, it can throw it off in a sense where guys just kind of lose the messaging and become in the way distractions of or undisciplined in the way they play, and it can cause us in the games later.
Yeah, got another super chat. Dario Jones, we appreciate you. Just giving y'all love for the job you're doing. This show has helped me today after dealing with the blow my Cowboys gave me last night. Well, Dario, if you had listened to the podcast last week, I kind of forewarned you and tried to cushion that blow.
They just make everything look so hard. Like, why was that? They just made the game, like the defense, it made it look like they couldn't keep up with the play calling. I told you, San Francisco 49ers came in there with them plays dialed and had them just all over the place. And every time that happens, the secondary of the Cowboys just looks to get exposed at the worst times, you know.
Another super chat from my guy Matt, 2011 GT. That's just leftover BK Sting. I mean, you know.
Stank like BK, some leftover Burger King or something.
You know, it's just, it is what it is. I wouldn't even call it stink. I wouldn't refer to Mike Elson as stink. You know, it's just, it's a new vibe. And, you know, if you're going to be around the vibe and you're halfway in, halfway out, kind of in your emotions and your feelings, it's best that we, you know, part ways. We had a show last week when we talked about the pettiest breakups. I mean, you know, some might feel Mike Elson broke up with Notre Dame petty. It was petty how he did it. Some people feel like once you committed after sitting down, you already went and sat with Brian Kelly. So once you come back and you commit, you know what I'm saying, and nothing was promised to you, now you want to get in your feelings.
But how do you break up the right? I feel like college football, especially as a coach, you're just naturally petty because there's no way to like leave a school. How do you leave a school, be interested in it, or try to elevate your position in college football without appearing slimy?
I don't think anybody's saying Mike Elson appears slimy.
Not slimy, but appears.
Brian Kelly was slimy. Brian Kelly was slimy. And it has nothing to do with what happened the day he finally left. It was everything that led up to that. And how he did a poor job of truly coaching this season when you look at the narrative he tried to put out, the money he was trying to get on the back end, and what he was saying along with his assistants about the program and the players. Like, that's slime. Everything that went into that led up to him leaving was, man, corny and slimy. Mike Elson, I think, was up front. Like, man, let me go down here, see if I can better myself with this LSU situation. Met with BK, ultimately decided to come back, commit to Notre Dame. When you commit to Notre Dame, look, you're getting an opportunity in the Fiesta Bowl to show your wares. Show what you could look like as a DC. This is not something that is promised to you. You know that. So you got to keep your emotions out of it, bro. You got to keep your emotions out of it. You already know what it is. That's like, you know, you meet a girl. She tells you, like, man, we could kick it. You know, I'm just coming out of a relationship. I'm really not looking for anything. You know, I still kind of have feelings for my ex. But, yeah, we can kick it, get to know each other. And you trying to force the hand, like, man, what's up? Well, what is this? Well, I mean, are we exclusive? Like, bro, relax. Just be thankful for the benefits that you're getting right now. You know, and if you real player, you can be off doing your own thing on the side.
That's right.
While she's working out and going through her emotions.
While she's figuring it out, you can be on a nice little coast. You ain't got to push nothing, pressure nothing. But it just,
as Gunner would say, that's not P.
That's not P.
That's not P.
That is not P.
No. And when you look at Brian Kelly, it's like, yo, that's not P.
He's definitely not P at all.
No. I don't know if I would apply that to Mike Elson. I really have no beef with Mike Elston.
No, it's just like it's like Lance Taylor. Thank you, man. You're moving on. Thank you,
man. That's huge.
That's huge. Good job.
An OC job. That's fantastic. That's fantastic.
I mean, it's like we wasn't going to do it at this time. You know, we're not trying to stop your bag.
Yeah. You know, he's a great coach. He's a great coach, and maybe he was just one of those guys that just wasn't meant to be a coordinator. You know,
and that's you know,
and you saw that yesterday. Like, Shanahan is, the way he sets things up, the way he sets you up in the third quarter with plays in the first quarter. The call he made on 3rd and 11
with the reverse
with a minute left. They've been running power the entire game, gashing them up the middle, and to hit Debo on the reverse and almost get that first down to end the game. That's worth his weight in gold. He has a feel for calling plays, and everybody doesn't have that.
No. He reminds me a lot of myself on Madden, just the way he just set it up and to run the football for a first down almost. Right. I mean, you talking about scheming up. That's how you scheme stuff up. When you get the combination of talented players with a scheme like that, that's what you get. You get stuff like that.
So, do you think? Let me take a little exit off of Notre Dame right quick. Josh Allen played almost one of the most perfect playoff games I've ever seen, right?
Oh my God. I mean, I guess.
Yeah, boy, you are you are on the petty train, dude. When it comes to Justin Herbert and Josh Allen, the hate is real.
It's not hate. I thought he played
real.
Evidently, he played great. But what are you implying? Are you saying they're going to win a Super Bowl?
There you go, trying to put words in it. All I said was he played a perfect game on Saturday night. That's all I said.
Yeah, he played great.
That's all. You ready? Go ahead. You ready to grab the briefcase and start public defending?
I was just trying to see where you were taking it. I agree. He played all right.
I was very direct. What do you mean? Where was I taking it? I was pretty direct with what I said.
I thought it was implying that it's like, because he played so great that this is going to continue in the playoffs.
Now, if I was going to say that, I would have said that. But then on the flip side, I would like to point out that there's another dude that's a dude in the Midwest that threw 5 touchdowns in 11 minutes of game time. That's crazy.
Yeah, well,
5 touchdowns in 11 minutes and 34 seconds of game time.
Well, when you're that one team, when you're from that one place and you're doing that one thing, when you talk about really good, that's what we need to be talking about. This Josh Allen thing, it comes and goes. It's like a comet. It like comes by and it passes over. It doesn't come by for a long time. If anything, we know where the ascension of that Cincinnati team is going. That's a Super Bowl team. This team in Buffalo, come on. They beat their division rivals like whoop-de-doo. Whoop-de-doo. That's what I gotta say about the Bills. Whoop-de-doo. I want to see it next week.
Our boy Gavin Wright, we appreciate you. In all fairness, assistants getting good jobs makes us better and more attractive. Turnover is a natural part of a good program. Facts, because Nick Saban in Alabama and Kirby Smart, Clemson, they all go through it. Where do you think coaches get hired from? Losing teams? Nah.
Wait a minute.
I mean, you can find some good coaches from losing teams, though. Real talk, you really can.
Is Matt Nagy gonna get hired again?
Majority do come from winning programs, though.
Is Matt Nagy gonna get hired again?
Heck yeah. He can walk right back into Kansas City and get an assistant job tomorrow. Are you crazy? Yeah, absolutely he's gonna get hired. Are you asking, is he gonna be a head coach again?
Yes.
The way the NFL is, yes, he'll get another look.
Okay.
Probably a year or two down the line. Absolutely. They do nothing. All they do is recycle.
That's terrible, though.
It is. I agree. I agree. I got Demetrius Rex giving us some information for the Culture Friday. Eminem dropping MMLP3 on Friday featuring Drake, Kendrick, and Drake. Crazy. Not interested.
Yeah, keep it.
Yeah, I'm not an Eminem dude. I'm sorry, man. I think I like the show. The soundtrack to the movie was dope. I mean, his features are usually amazing. Going all the way back to like Renegade, with Hov, but just a whole project, I had to tap out, because I just certain content, I can't do it, man. I can't do it.
Corny.
I can't do it. I'll probably give it a listen.
You probably wouldn't give it a replay, but you give it a listen.
No, the replay is based upon how it sounds.
Okay.
I'll keep it. I'll be honest. Like, if I like it, I'll give it a replay. I don't know a month out. If it's something I'll be saying, man, let me listen to this.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't know about that. Ryan McIntyre, I appreciate you, man. Everybody's giving me love. I color coordinated this morning, my brother. Just feeling fresh, feeling
with
good.
With the hat too?
Yeah, with the socks hat. Got to go get me. I'm going to get me a nice little cut today too.
Okay. Oh yeah, you're not playing around.
Yeah, I like going in on Mondays when it's quiet. I don't do the barbershop when all the hustle and bustle on the weekend. And I like people that can give me an appointment and keep it. I don't want to walk in supposed to be in the chair at 10 and I don't get in the chair
like and it's like an extra 30 minutes until you talking and
right. And sometimes the barbershop talk can hold you in there and make you feel all right while you're waiting. And then sometimes it's like, no, man. I want to walk in, hop right in the chair.
You can talk, but I just want to get in and out.
If I have a 10 o'clock appointment, I want that dude texting me at 9:58 if I'm not in there, like, yo, where you at?
Straight up.
You know what I'm saying? I'm all about service.
And you can tell which ones are like that when they got the
when I was younger, I was about the barbershop vibe. Like, I really didn't care. But now, my time is a little bit more valuable to me. So
it's like, look, brother, I gotta go. But you can tell the ones that are like that are the ones that you gotta pay to get the appointment book.
Yeah.
And so they keep their time on deck. So
Diablo Rivera checking in, southwest side of Chicago. Curie. Man, that was a tough game. Tough loss to Kenwood this week, though. Shout out to Reverend Curie. A tough loss for Kenwood. Tough loss losing to Kenwood by a couple of points. Michael Jenkins said you can keep that dictionary rap.
Seriously, I'm not impressed by that, man. That's not flow to me. I'm glad somebody said that, Michael Jenkins. Thank goodness.
I don't know if you guys saw this, but on Twitter yesterday, first of all, Jay-Z doesn't tweet a lot. He definitely doesn't do social media a lot, but someone tweeted out that Volume 1, The Streets is Watching, is like highly underrated and undervalued. And Hov retweeted it. And it started like a conversation all day about Volume 1 on social media. What's the one album? Let me know, LL Nation. What's the one album that you think is like totally undervalued and underrated that you still rock to this day? Now, it has to be at least, let's give a rule. Yeah, it was. Thanks, P-Dub. It was Questlove that said it. It was Questlove that said it. It has to be at least 5 years old. It has to be at least 5 years old. I almost went to 10 years old, but it has to be at least 5 years old. But what do you feel like it sounds, Sonic, man, just everything, it still holds up today even more than it did when it first came out? Let us know. I want to see what you guys have in the chat. The album, no matter what genre, that still holds up, still to this day, that's at least 5 years old. You feel like it's undervalued and people really don't appreciate its greatness. Let us know.
Oh, man. Underrated.
I have one I have one from back in the day that people might totally disagree with, but I still listen to this album for the songs, the content, and the comic relief, which is funny.
Okay.
And that album is Mace Harlem World. Man, this is one of the. This is the day of the skits, like in the middle.
The skit, yeah, the skits is
in
popping.
the middle of the Death Row Bad Boy, and the skits they were coming up with, bro. Hilarious.
It's like the first time you can listen to a movie.
Man, 24 Hours to Live with DMX, The Locks.
Yeah.
Still a banger. Great, man, really good music. It was a pop. It was a hip hop album, but it's Puff. It was real shiny suit. It was real shiny suit. Holds up. I like it. Yes, I agree. Juan Lozado. Red Man Dares the Dark Side. Yes, I agree.
Oh, they pulling up all the classics.
They clamping investments. Yes. Yep, Purdue. 10 is amazing. Might do it. Arguably Pearl Jam's best album.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, we getting it popping.
Let's get it popping. EPMD out of business. You know what? For you today, I'm going out, enjoy some time with the missus. I'm going to give EPMD out of business a listen on the commute.
I'm a Gangstar fan. I think Gangstar is underrated.
You think so? See, I'm a Primo fan, but I'm not necessarily a Guru fan. Because I don't think he's the lyricist that most people try to portray him as.
Really? You think
he had a dope voice? Yeah, I like the Jazzmatazz stuff, Guru. More than the Gangstar stuff. That's just my opinion.
Okay. That's quality.
That was more of his vibe.
Right. That was more of his vibe.
Josh Miller, Ice Cube, Lethal Injection. That certificate for me is probably my favorite Cube album. The Lethal Injection. Hey, bro, you can stop all that. You 1920. That shiny suit was killing, was rocking, especially with the ladies. Y'all can stop that. Y'all can stop. Everybody try to act real hard. No shiny suit, man. Stop.
Yeah, the shiny suits where it was at.
They made music for the ladies, bro. That's all right. You want to get on that dance floor? Puff has you on that dance floor.
Yeah, hell yeah, he did. I mean, all the moves.
Weez and the Juice says skits are sorely missing today. Would you want skits in this era, like with like certain beefs and like? I feel like they might get out of hand in this era, man.
Yeah, people too disrespectful with the music nowadays. It wouldn't even be needed for a skit. They just tell you in the song something crazy. So,
see, look, the ops in the building, they still loving us. I got Wet Blanket. I welcome everybody. I got Wet Blanket said from Elvis in Memphis. Never heard it, but I take your word from it.
I take your word for it.
Wet Blanket's with us, man. We're gonna bring him over. Wet Blanket, we're gonna make you a Notre Dame fan sooner or later, bro. We love and appreciate you, man. Thanks for tapping in the way you do.
So funny. He said he can't stay away.
Kai asks, anything Slick Rick, Rakim, and NWA? Now, I can say,
I don't think they're underrated though.
For me, they were. I'll tell you who was underrated for me.
Slick Rick was not underrated for me.
NWA was underrated for me. Because at the time when they first came out, I really, I hadn't had any interaction, with the law. And my father was a pastor, so it was like the content really I couldn't connect with it. Then, once I started driving, later on in high school, went on to college, had a couple of things happen. Now it's like, okay.
I get it.
So, yeah. So for me, originally, where how I viewed their content, their music, and how I've grown, like now, I can put on In for Life and go crazy. Like, bro, Man,
That's the truth. That's definitely the truth. I think that's one of those type of music albums or just groups in general that evolves over time because it's a timeless connect to what's going on.
mm-hmm.
And so yeah, at the time, I kind of felt similar. I understood where it was coming from, but I didn't see it as like, oh, I'm gonna just pop it on, like I'm getting in the shower. That's just what I'm going to. It was more like if I'm listening to it, it's more like I'm with a group of people and we talking about something. It just come up like, yeah, turn it. Yeah, it's crazy. Remember we were talking about we would talk about the song. It wouldn't be just listening to how I listen to it now, like just bumping it.
Matt Herrera. This is a very good. I like this because I think it's the most slept on Outkast album.
Really?
Because they went different. And Miss Jackson is like the standout.
It is.
From the album. And I think it was kind of like a far departure from what you got on AT Aliens and Aquemini.
They definitely tried it.
Yeah. So, Matt, I agree. It holds up well. It wasn't as beloved by fans of Outkast when it first came out, but I think it grew on a lot of people. P-Dub, it was written. It was written as a very, I can see where you're coming from with that. I can see where you're coming from. Ron Bickerstaff said, look, there is no way, in my opinion, there is no way Dark and Hell is Hot can be underrated. The 2-album run that dude put together.
Yeah, it's still top. It won't be another one like that.
I think maybe it should get more love from being done in a calendar year. But
historically, it's not underrated.
Yeah, historically, that gets a lot of respect. Jay Clamp, look.
I grew up on that. Tribe Called Quest, man. Lo Ente is not an underrated album. That's very appreciated. If you're starting off on hip hop, that's like one of the essential albums.
Oh, absolutely.
You gotta pop in.
You have to.
You're not skipping and getting into a hip hop fan without getting into that album first.
It is literally, and I do not, man. I don't care who comes at me. It is a top 3 most influential hip hop album ever.
I can put it in my top 5 for sure.
I'm talking about the influence on what was to come musically and producers and MCs. Top 3 most influential album of all time. All time. It's not even debatable. Don't even talk to me about it. I remember going to Sam Goody and Evergreen Plaza to snatch it on lunchtime. Dude, it changed everything. Now, I had this discussion. Do you remember the song, classic example of a date rape? That song off that album is so funny because if they dropped it now, there's no way they would get tons of pushback.
Yeah.
But people don't understand, like, the concept behind the song was talking about how everything was back then and what it's like dealing with kind of being a rock star, a superstar. And the positions it puts you in, the thin line between like illegal and just getting it in with groupies. Like, that line was razor thin, dude. Like, ask athletes about it. Like, that's a razor thin line. And they talked about it, and they were open and transparent about it. Probably wouldn't be as beloved as it was back then now because of how society is, but
yeah, they definitely toted the line. Something that they probably couldn't get close to today, but it's not like they were telling a lie. It was probably the truth. It just so happened that they got it on the album. Usually wouldn't make the album. They'd make a 30 for 30 documentary or something crazy.
Yeah. Ron Tuck, man, Cool G Rap is one of the most underrated MCs of all time. There's so many people that big Cool G Rap style, man. That's like a whole nother podcast. Christopher Morgan, thank you for tapping in with the super chat. Dr. Dre, the Chronic 2001. Halle Berry. The Chronic. I think the Chronic of 2001 was underrated because the original Chronic was just so huge.
It just was another knock it out the park. Like sometimes some work drowns out some of the other accomplishments and great work that they have.
Yeah, that's true. I can see that.
I'm actually thinking also I think there's a lot of Rick Ross earlier albums that are underrated as a collective because
I don't think the Port is underrated.
Really?
No, Port of Miami is, dude, that's almost cult classic in hip hop, bro. Not the Port. Not if you really digging in to like hip hop.
I don't think they give Rick Ross enough appreciation on some of the masters.
Now, as an artist, I do.
As an artist,
yeah, as an artist, I do think people underrate that cat Ross. No, but
that's
when
my favorite.
No, when that Teflon Don for me, now Teflon
Don hard, yeah. He got a couple albums you can play all the way through.
In his catalog.
Yeah, his catalog is definitely worth a lot of money. Sure.
That Port of Miami though, no, that still hits hard to this day. To this day. I like this. Thank you, P-Dub. Common Resurrection. Absolutely. Absolutely, man. And the importance of Can I Borrow a Dollar, his first album, and what it opened up for guys like Kanye, Twister, and everybody else coming out of Chicago. It established Chicago as a place where hip hop should be respected.
Yeah.
He kicked the door in, and everybody else came behind. So for me, always. So as we get ready to, you had a chance to talk to Dante Moore, and hopefully we can get him on the show. But you had an opportunity to talk to Dante Moore, and just from the conversation you had, did you get any vibes or try to gauge where he's at in his recruiting?
Man, I think he's just a real humble kid that is in a good position where he's clear-headed about more so what he wants. And I think he has a great support system with his dad being involved, especially in his decision and careful about the things that he gets into in regards to football. So I think from the makeup of how the kid sounds and from what I see on the field, I really think he fits what we're looking for. A lot of what we talk about being a screen popper, does he fit what Notre Dame needs? I think he checks all the boxes for that. So if I had to guess, I would definitely think that his relationship with Tommy, we didn't get too deep into it, but I know that that's been at least a strong enough connection that I feel good that he's got us in at least his top three. And, when we get him on the podcast, hopefully ask him a little bit deeper questions about more so like how we did with Carnell about what it is that he's looking for. And I think what he's looking for is going to align with what the type of guy he is. And I think it's just a good fit for us. And hopefully we get him on the podcast.
Yeah, hopefully we get him on a podcast. And after you guys watch what we have coming for you on Tuesday night, if you tapped in late, you missed it, here it is once again. We're talking to Carnell Tate, IMG Academy.
Notre Dame's been on me from the start my freshman year. I've been talking to him, so our connection great. So I feel like I can do it all.
The trifecta.
I'm just from the Midwest, so
let's talk about it. Talk about these Chi-Town streets.
Oh, yeah.
It feels different. I try to tell them all the time, you feel different when you come from the South Side.
Oh yeah, it's different.
So yes, that exclusive interview with 2023 wide receiver prospect Carnell Tate right here, the Lucky Lefty podcast. That will be Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central Time, only on the YouTube channel of the Lucky Lefty podcast. It was a great interview. The kid gave us like 30 minutes.
Yeah, no, he was
30 minutes of great insight, great content. And it goes back to what you just talked about with Dante Moore. There is a silver lining and a connection between them both when it comes to their strongest relationship at Notre Dame. And, if that be the case, we've talked about, a certain person being under the microscope or being in the spotlight more than others would like to say. He's putting in work. If everything is lining up the way these two guys are talking about. So I have to tip my cap. Hey, Tommy, number 11, uno.
We'll just get it. You guys let's get it signed, sealed, and delivered on that dotted line.
Man. We got it, man. Just be a closer. From what we're hearing, he's doing his thing.
Yeah. He's definitely got the important things. And I think the future is set up great if this is the route they're taking.
Yeah,
we got to develop who we got right now in the meantime. And I think that full court pressure on Tyler Buckner to get better this year is at its premium, because I think it'll affect the recruiting of even the 2023 class on how Tyler does.
So let's try. I'm going to try and get through some more of these suggestions for underrated albums, bro, before we close out. We got Midnight Marauders from Michael Graves, Juan Lozada, Common Sense Sold by the Pound, William Watts. Look, hey man, look, this right here, you can only appreciate if you really got some block rattlers. You know what I mean? You know, as a kid, when the cool dudes used to roll through the neighborhood and all you heard was the trunk,
yeah,
you really couldn't hear the words.
Yeah, that's what that
you heard the trunk rattling.
Yeah, boom.
Scarface the Fix is the perfect album if you got a trunk rattler, dude. Like, a nice truck with a nice system.
Oh hell yeah, hell yeah.
Buster's Extinction Level, dude. Buster's
he's classic though.
Yeah. Yo, Coleman Clark. Benny Siegel out of Philly, one of the great ones in the 90s. True. But Benny Siegel's the truth. Oh, my God. The work that Benny Siegel and Kanye put in for the truth.
Yeah.
Look, man. Give it a listen. That's all, man.
Just give it a listen.
Demetrius Rex, B by Common. Yep. Alicia Keys, New York State of Mind. I don't know. Is that 5 years old? I think
yeah, it is now. Alicia Keys hasn't released nothing in at least 5 years.
Yeah. Let's see. Mike Huff said the Marshall Mathers LP. I didn't give it enough of a listen.
Yeah, I'm just sad to say, not a big Eminem fan.
Lilo, I see you, Galante. Yes, sir. That's Sam Goody on 95th and Western. You know it. You know it. Give them a shout out. Shout out to EP and Forest City, no doubt. Let's see. Jeff Fluke. Yes, I'll give you that one. Beastie Boys, License to Ill. Yes.
The Beastie Boys?
It holds up. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. They went more rock as they went along, but that initial release, absolutely. Let's see. Yeah, De La Soul is dead.
De La Soul
is dead. Super chat, thanks, Mike Huff. The Marshall Mathers LP did it for me. All right. Let's see. See a lot of people showing love to G-Rap. Oh, yes. Black Sheep or Wolf in Sheep's Clothing. Good call.
I think MF Doom's albums are underrated too.
I agree.
I like MF Doom.
And I really didn't get into listening to him extensively until after he passed away.
Really? Wow. Yeah.
Yeah,
MF Doom,
yeah,
his
yeah. Unfortunately,
delivery, all his stuff.
I mean, we talking. I see Gavin. I see. Look, we're not talking about artists in particular. We're talking about albums. Big L. We know everybody.
Everybody know Big L.
Everybody
Yeah,
knows
everybody know
Big
Big
L
L.
is, man. So I'm not bypassing that. You know, he just didn't put out a full project.
Yeah.
And we're trying to
He didn't
stick
get a
to albums.
chance, but it would have been nice.
Matt 2011 GT 1999 Eternal is nostalgic. I can see that.
Yeah, I can see it.
I can see that. I'm due. Yeah. My younger brother was more of a Bone fan. Like those two. He put, oh my God. He made me dislike them because of how much he played them in the crib.
Oh, okay. So
it was like that. Like our rooms are right next to each other. And it's like this dude is playing Bone again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Royal Fingers Into the Stage. Buckshot. Black Moon. Absolutely. Let's see. Savage Scion Fitness. Thank you. The Slimy Shady LP by Eminem.
Keep it.
I guess they're gonna love his release on Friday.
Yeah.
When we talk about it. Now, you know I'm gonna listen to it before the Culture Friday and let you know what I think, right? So I want all you Eminem fans to be prepared because I'm gonna give
for a real evaluation.
I'm gonna give an honest assessment. Royal Fingers, yes. Shaun Price, Shaun Price was a beast, bro.
Yeah.
Shaun Price for me is like Stove God Cooks right now. Like people really didn't know, and you really had to give his music. Stove God Cooks is yes, this one, absolutely.
They're bringing out all the classics, huh?
That's not even a question. You know something I listened to last week? My wife thought I was crazy.
What?
I was bumping that AMG, boy.
Really?
Yeah. That beat better have my money. Yeah. It still bangs. Still bangs.
Wow, that's like a cookout song for me.
And you know, it's out there, especially if you're out there by you.
Yeah, straight up.
Especially if you're on the West Coast. A lot of people don't know about the AMG. That was a pretty sound product. I was stopped short of calling it a classic. But Bone Thugs Eternal is nostalgic, as is E40.
Yeah, E40, that's big over here for sure.
Yeah, 40 just classic. Oh, yes, sir. Any dude, Ghost, man, let me tell you, Ghost and his content is so, it's like it's like his albums get put up in a wine cellar. And the more you let them sit,
they just age with time. They get so much better.
Yo. There's a lot of stuff off Suave House that's underrated. I agree with that. Because the biggest artists got a lot of the credit. I'm gonna have to Jay Clampett, I'm gonna have to give this a try.
Yeah, I gotta give Led Zeppelin a try. I only know a couple songs.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to check it out. Never really got into it. Yeah,
the Black Panther soundtrack was actually really good. The one that Kendrick produced.
Is it 5? It's 5 years now?
Yeah, it was 2017.
I actually like the direction they're going with the production of Black Panther 2 and the storyline from what's being put out there.
You got to see it though, because it's going to be hard to visually get better than what they did with the last one.
Well, I'm just talking about the storyline because I just worried about how they were going to transition from, our boy
Chad. Yeah, I mean,
from Chad to the next, but from what I'm hearing, and the way they're going to be using all of the tribes to really make the transition.
Yeah,
I was worried about it. This is probably your favorite one, dog. The Belly soundtrack, since you like dropping dimes.
Listen. I could have swore they already said it, but about Mary J. Blige, I think she's overrated, and so I don't think she can sing. But that's just.
You got 2 classic albums, dog. It's tough to put out classic albums your first 2 joints. That's tough. I don't care. I don't care if you can't sing, if you can't rap. If you can put out 2 classics with your first 2 projects, you don't have the rest of your career is written in stone.
Not Mary J. Blige though.
Okay, I do. So you saying her first 2 albums aren't classics?
I think she got some good songs. I just don't. I think she just screamed too much for me. I think she screamed too much. I'm sorry. I think she screamed too much.
You're so disrespectful, man. You're so disrespectful, man. You're so disrespectful, man.
It's just an opinion.
You're so disrespectful, man.
Oh,
you don't have to particularly like an artist to not. There's a bunch of music out here that I don't particularly like, but I nod my head and say, you know what? He's killing it. Drake is a perfect example for me.
Who?
I'm not a huge Drake fan. But I would nod my head and say, you know what? That's a banger, Drake.
What's wrong with Drake then?
He gets all of his love and only has 1 classic album.
Wait a minute. You said 1?
He has 1 critically acclaimed classic album. Name the other one.
Which one are you going to say?
I said most critics would say "Take Care" is his classic album. That's his classic.
That's a classic.
Undoubtedly, that's his classic.
But I don't understand what other ones you don't think are classic though.
I said. What do you mean? You act like this dude got like 4 or 5 classics. You need to slow your roll.
He do.
All right. Lucky Lefty podcast, man. Lucky Love getting back to what you guys are talking about, man. AZ do or die, yes.
You don't think
Iron Man, yeah, man. I'm not doing that with you today. I'm not doing that. You know, if you're trying to lay Pearl Jam number 10. You trying to lay 4 classics at this man's feet? Stop.
We'll talk about it later.
No, I don't need to talk about it. I don't need to talk about it. Absolutely, Far Side is definitely underrated. Yes, Royal Fingers. Thank you, Malik bugging and disrespecting. MJB first 2 were classics. Absolutely. I don't care if she can't sing a lick.
Oh my goodness!
Here you go. Drake's garbage.
There you go, Drake's garbage.
Again, bro. The people, Drake trash as F. Take Care is his only classic. Thank you. I'm just saying, bro. Look, the people are speaking. LL Nation is letting it be known.
Like Drake is trash. Yeah, see?
Stand up, LL Nation. Speak the truth. That's why I love you. Because you speak the truth. This man is laying 4 classics, 4 or 5 classics.
He do have 4 classics.
Man, come on, man.
Oh my goodness.
Come on, man. Are you kidding me?
He
said 4 or 5. I would have let you slide with 2.
He undoubtedly has 4 for sure. You can argue a 5th, but he has 4 locked in.
4.
He has 4 locked in. Look, we can talk about this later.
Name the 4. Because I want to write. Name the 4. Because we're gonna have a podcast on this.
Wait a minute.
Name the 4. Name the 4. Take Care. Go ahead. I know you're not
the same. I know you're the same.
I know you're not including the mixtape before Take Care. I know you're not including that.
That's a classic though. It may not be, but nothing was the same. Nothing was the same was undoubtedly a classic.
Okay, so Take Care. Take Care.
Why are we disrespecting Drake like he's not the best?
The best what? Not the best what? Artist? Out right now?
Man. Drake is the best songwriter of our generation.
I agree.
Number one.
I agree.
With
Wait. Now, you see how I just did that? I want the same respect. You see how I just did that? I want the same respect for Mary J. Blige. The same respect. I want the same respect for Mary J. Blige. The way I just admitted, hold on.
Wait a minute.
The way I just admitted that Drake is the greatest songwriter of our generation. I said you're right. I'll give you that. I want you to stop hating and give the same respect for Mary J. Blige for having 2 classics out the box.
Mary J. Blige has no talent, and P. Diddy backs me up on that. That is, you can't give the credit to Mary J. Blige for those 2 albums because that's not even her talent. That's a Milli Vanilli. They constructed that album for her.
Thank you, Juan Lozada.
Oh my goodness. We ain't talking about
Thank you, Demetrius.
We're not talking about Kendrick because I love Kendrick. I know Kendrick got every one of Kendrick's albums.
Now, Charlie White's last belt loop said Marvin's Room was good.
Yeah, the whole album was good.
Good. You can get that. It wasn't classic. It was good. There's a lot of albums that are really good that's not classic. Stop.
Oh my goodness. You just tried to compare Mary J. Blige to Drake. That's not
her first 2 albums are better than his first 2.
Okay, yeah, this is getting towards the end of the podcast.
Mary J. Blige's first 2 albums don't hold up better today than Drake's first 2? Man, you're out of your mind.
See, we gotta have a whole podcast just about this. Dude, just about this.
Drake puts ketchup on his hot dogs, man. You respect that dude. Respect that dude.
Oh my goodness, this is crazy.
Come on, man. You bugging.
The fact that you put Mary J. Blige in the same, and Mary J. Blige has 0 talent. Like, come on.
There you go, man. 0 talent, but yes, 2 class.
And you so funny. You putting all the.
Look, the people are speaking. I just want them to get the opportunity to speak to you about the subject. He's speaking.
He talking about speaking. Hold on.
Hey.
Oh my goodness. Whatever.
Kaya said we're gonna call Drake classic. We might as well throw in Wham. See, Wham is before your time. You probably not even up on Wham.
I don't know Wham, but I know he's
not even up on Wham, dude.
Oh man.
William Watts. I can't. Hey man, you all see what I deal with all the time.
Swing music. That's what we talking about.
You see what I deal with all the time with my bro. This type of foolishness all the time.
This type of foolishness. Yeah, I mean the disrespect for Drake is crazy. I just
Is it?
It is. To say he has 1 classic, how are you even in the game that long with 1 album?
What do you mean?
1 classic. How are you in the game for 10 plus years holding it down as the best in the generation with 1 classic album? How does that even add up? So something got to be wrong in the equation. You can't have 1 classic album and that be your first album, and then you survive in the game for 10 plus years being one of the top 3. I don't understand. I don't understand
what you don't understand.
You can't be the coldest of your generation with 1 classic album when you've been in the game for more than 10 years. Are you serious?
I'm trying to figure out what you don't understand. I'm still trying to figure out what you don't understand.
Oh man. We gotta move on, man. Let's just move on, man.
Lucky Lefty Podcast, man. Y'all pray for your boy.
It'll be a poll for us on Twitter, man.
Pray for your boy. Yep. Let's get it.
Petticoat. 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 Petticoat Junction.
It's time to get petty.
Oh, we did a good job executing.
Are you upset with something?
And fire up the Petticoat Junction train.
I just don't like you.
You don't?
No.
What is today's petty history? Petty Junction.
That's right, Petty Junction every day. You know what time it is. Hey, I gotta put LL Nation on the Petty train, bro. These comments are bad. Oh wow. They said you gotta have COVID right now because you ain't got no taste.
See, we got to just do a music podcast next. I got to break down why.
Dude.
And what y'all missing when I'm talking about this music game, man. It's like,
oh my God.
I just confused on some things with the Drizzy Drake.
Oh my God. I can't believe you said this dude had, you on the Petty train, dude, for your treatment of Mary J. Blige this morning, bro.
Oh, Mary J. Blige, I'm standing on that. No talent.
You are on the Petty train, my brother.
I do like her in Power, though.
She's terrible as an actress.
Okay, but that's better than her singing.
So you like her as Monet, but you don't like her having two classics.
See, you talking about two moments in time, but I'm talking about just the talent in general. I think she has more talent acting than she can even act than she does screaming on the mic. P. Diddy even said it himself that she doesn't have talent. What's the argument? I don't know.
Man, you're gonna make people hit the dislike button, bro. with this MJB stuff today, bro. Yo, Chris brought that Joey B.A. dude. Not the album with the he had the album with the purple and gold on the front, but it was another one. Get the title like America something.
Oh,
thoroughly enjoyed that Joey Badass album.
It came out at the same time as I think it was either a Kendrick or a J. Cole album. So it wasn't really given the credit it should have been. Yeah. But it was definitely fire. I listened to that as well.
As much as I like him as an MC, Joey Badass might be a better actor.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because the role he plays in Power,
it was smooth. Oh yeah,
he's killing that.
It felt real for him, for sure.
That dude, hey man, I know this is sidetracked for a second, yo. This latest episode of Power, man. 50 needs to get some realistic writers in the field. Yo, because to me, Tariq is a corny dude, and this dude just be smashing, and I'm like,
yeah, got Diana just. I'll tell you when they walked through the door, she didn't see Lauren.
But the Diana thing is real though.
You think so?
Yeah,
I think Effie is more real for the situation.
I talked to my sister, and my sister was like, Diana was ready as soon as he chose her to come in the room.
For sure.
He was like, oh, she was ready.
She was ready.
He didn't have to say nothing else.
You see how she looked back when you got to go?
Oh, yeah. I'll give it to her. She played in G, too, when she first walked up. Like, oh, my fault.
Yeah, no. We'll come over just slide. No,
right.
She knew she was doing.
Right. Lauren might have to go.
She gonna have to, because she's too conflicted and too easily influenced.
Yeah, she played herself, dude. But the smoothest move of the day, of the episode, was that man, Councilman Tate. When he went and smoothed everything over with Carrie Milgram in the office when she was crying.
Oh, yeah.
When he walked out, she immediately was looking like, yeah, he can get it.
He can get it. Yeah, because he didn't set it up real nice.
He set it up smooth. I was like, this cat Tate.
Hey, he look at the win. He like, I don't care about the money. He want the power. That's all he wants.
But get back to the petty train. Yo, I'm gonna have to throw Dak Prescott on the petty train. The way he played,
it just wasn't good enough.
not getting down soon enough, not knowing to hand the ball to the referee instead of to the center. Gotta throw him on the petty train. And I think it's real petty that you find out about the injuries that players are dealing with the moment they lose. Like now, now y'all want to talk about Zeke's knee? Like, dude, we could tell Zeke wasn't
the problem the week before.
Right. Like, come on, man. That's mad petty to me. That's petty to me as well. You got anybody on the petty train besides yourself?
It's petty that we not looking at.
I'm glad our girl D Beezy tapped in. She said, "I'm late, but what's up, D Beezy? I want you to know that your boy Malik has spent the last 15 minutes of the show making disparaging remarks about Mary J. Blige. He called her first 2 albums trash. He said they weren't classics and said that Drake's first 2 albums were better than her first 2 albums.
Yeah, of course.
Said she is not talented. Said she's a better actress than a singer. Dude, your boy is going off the rails today. I don't know what's wrong with him.
He phrased it a little tough.
Thank you for tapping in as always. One of our day ones, our girl DB.
You said it a little tough, but essentially that's what it is.
See? DBs, he said, you tripping, bro. You tripping. Dude, you're tripping. And we are definitely going to do a full podcast.
We'll get it in.
Mary J versus Drake.
I'll bring the I'll bring all of what you need. I got you.
Dude, DBZ, the question of the day was an album. Yeah, I had to go big head. Look, I had to go belly on him.
Yeah, I had to go belly on him.
DBZ, question of the day was underrated album that's just as good or better today than it was when it first came out. It has to be at least 5 years old. See? That she just threw up Mary J. What's the 4-1? Share My World.
Oh my God.
Share My World is mad underrated.
Come on.
Mad underrated.
Look. Y'all know she ain't got it. Y'all know she don't
speak. Let the people speak.
Y'all know Mary J. Blige cannot sing. And y'all know she don't got no talent. That's all. But the thing is, too, is that the disrespect to Drake gotta stop. This one classic album's gotta stop.
Man, Royal Fingers has a question for you, dog. Who hurt you, dog? Who hurt you?
Listen, no Mary J. Blige song.
Who hurt you?
She's not talented. That's what hurts me. That y'all think that she's not even a top 3 artist or nothing, a woman singer, female, nothing for y'all. What y'all saying her first 2 albums were classic and Drake only has 1 classic album. It's just too much.
Hey, I said, according to the critics, he has 1, and then LL Nation backed it up with their comments. Now, you're the only one that's trying to throw the number 4 at his feet. The only
No, I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one.
Yeah, you're definitely the only one today in this form on this podcast.
You only highlighted the ones that supported the Mary J. Blige comment.
Okay, let me go back because I didn't see any that supported your point.
That's okay. I'm gonna just bring my fans and my evidence next time.
Kai S said neither one of them.
Yeah, I'm not worried about Drake can't sing or not. It's Mary J.
You brought it up. You brought his singing ability up.
No, I'm saying her ability isn't that good. Drake's not known for singing. Drake's known for songwriting.
He's saying LL Petty for being stuck in one genre. No, we said all genres, did we not?
We said all genres.
Okay, so we're not stuck. We talked about Pearl Jam. We said we were gonna get into Led Zeppelin.
Led Zeppelin some more, you know.
So me personally, I'm a Rolling Stones dude. So East Daniel would be incorrect.
You would be incorrect.
Yeah, you'd be incorrect. You know, I'm a heavy jazz dude. I could throw out some names that I'm pretty sure you would have no clue who they were. So I'm just saying. If you're saying LL Nation is stuck, that's still incorrect because we had like rock, pop, all types of genres talked about.
The Beatles, the Beastie Boys.
Facts. Undeniable facts being pointed out by LL Nation.
The Nation.
Undeniable facts. He did get bodied. He did get bodied by Pusha T.
Get bodied. All right, here we go.
He got bodied.
We're not about to jump into the beef. We're not about to jump into the beef.
Weezy the Juice, you are absolutely correct. Because I'm a huge Eric Clapton fan. I got that Beatles thing. It's like from my mom. My mom loved those dudes, man.
Yeah.
She loved the Beatles. I mean, come on, man. Smokey Robinson. I see Antoine Porchrideau. You're probably right. My roommate in college, my boy, shout out to my boy Thomas Biddings. We played basketball together in Morgan Park. He was a huge AC/DC fan. Huge. I just couldn't. There was a couple of songs I rocked with. Pink Floyd, absolutely. Thank you for the super chat. Lee Morgan, JJ Johnson, Bird, Clifford Brown. Man, he has that many ghostwriters, bro.
Look, the industry's big. When you're in there for so long, you work with a lot of people. You know, you work with a lot of people when you're in there for so long. So what you
going? Here I Stand is better than Confessions. That's because Confessions still holds up to this day as an album. I'm gonna have to give Here I Stand another listen. It might be on my list today on my commute. Somebody says Drake's best song he made is with Soulja.
Haters.
Will Chesnick said my favorite Pink Floyd album is Animals. Animals? Really? All right.
See, I gotta dive into that a little bit more too.
Let's see this. John Clemming says facts. MJB had 12 albums and 7 of 8 went multi-platinum. We're just pointing out numbers and facts, dude. Zapp and Rogers definitely are mad underrated. That would be another genre that we just brought up.
Not true.
Let's see. He's not underrated to me because I was on him early.
Oh, he was on him early?
Yeah, I was on him early.
I got more on him once, he started doing more mainstream features and stuff.
Okay. Yeah, I was on him early. When he was writing for people, I was on him early. You know what? Drake is, I agree with that. And that's not being shady. Drake is like McDonald's. Just huge. He's the biggest artist. You know what I'm saying? He's put in the work to get that respect.
The biggest artist with one classic album. Come on.
But I can go find plenty hole. Man, I can go find tons of hole in the walls with better product, better food. Yeah, Malibu was one of the best albums of 16. That's a fact. Bro, they letting you have it, man.
You talking about let me have it.
They letting you have it. But to all you Eminem fans, for the Culture Friday, I'm gonna let you know what I think about that album.
Oh yeah, we definitely gonna have that discussion.
We appreciate everybody for tapping in. Once again, don't forget Tuesday night, our exclusive conversation with Carnell Tate, 2023 wide receiver recruit, is right here on the Lucky Lefty Podcast YouTube channel. 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central.
Check it out.
Absolutely. Subscribe, share, like, subscribe, share. Hit that like button. Let
And
everybody know.
update y'all Drake knowledge on the next so we can get and really talk about this, man. Because the comments are ridiculous.
What do you mean? You talking about the comments about Drake, or you talking about the comments overall?
The comments about Drake and in regards to Mary J. Blige, which I will be bringing evidence, facts, and we will be reviewing this the next time.
Well, we can't play their music on the podcast.
No, we'll just talk about numbers. I mean, we had a lot of numbers in the chat. We could talk numbers. We could talk what else you want to talk? Songs. We can do opinions. We can do whatever you want.
Okay. And I'm gonna go get reviews about each album, especially the first two albums, because that was the entire debate. What the critics have said about Drake is that he has
that's
one
the problem.
album.
You guys are a bunch of Rotten Tomato trusting type of people. Those are just opinions. That's all. It's just an opinion. It don't make it a fact. We know the fact is that Drake is not the best in the decade having one classic. That's just not a fact.
You know what? NWTS. I would even give, if somebody said NWTS was a classic, I would actually listen to that debate.
Yeah, because he got 4. So that's just
there you go. Here we go, man. Everybody have a great MLK Day. For my guy Malik Zaire, you know what I'm saying? Shaun Davis, we spend it different. I don't know what the hell he was spending today. But y'all don't get caught up in that web. And we'll see you guys tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. right here. Once again, it's the Lucky Lefty Podcast. LL Nation, have a great day. Spend it different today. We appreciate you.